Johnny Jones. I'm from Arkansas, and I currently work at the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
My name is Daniel Flynn. My full-time profession is I'm a program coordinator for the International Office of the Jesuit Volunteer Corps. I help coordinate our volunteers around the world. I'm originally from Illinois, but I've lived in Washington, D.C. for a little over a year and a half now. And for both my years in Washington, D.C., I've volunteered as a SNAP outreach worker for FRAC, for DC Hunger Solutions.
So my name is Eileen Hyde, and I am a program specialist at Feeding America, which is a domestic anti-hunger charity that supports 200 food banks across the country and 61,000 agencies.
I will admit I really didn't know much about food stamps. I hope that I was fairly well informed about poverty in America and the injustices that exist in our country, but I didn't know much about how low-income people sort of survived on a day-to-day basis. I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about food stamps, like you're taking away food from another person, that there's sort of like a quota of people who are able to receive food stamps. I would say that I was in that category maybe, that I didn't know that there's sort of like no cap on food stamps, that anyone who qualifies is absolutely eligible and absolutely has the right to collect food stamps. So that's one thing that I would say has changed my perception a lot. I think that another thing that has been eye-opening for me, I don't know if it's been like a shift in perspective, but there are a lot of people, who are proud of the fact that they work, and even if they qualify, they sometimes are less likely to want to receive food stamps. And so
It surprised me to see the amount of recently unemployed families that had just recently lost their jobs, maybe had wages earlier in the year, and that's why they were there to get their taxes done, but just really struggling at this time. So I think I was surprised to see the number of unemployed families really struggling to find work.
You would be amazed at how many people have so little resources to use to put food on their table. And then on top of that, you add to the equation children, dependent relatives and family members. And so, all these things to me are compelling reasons to even be here. And so for someone to even make that accusation that there is no hunger in America, I would say is a farce and so far away from the truth.
People are more hungry than we realize. When you've got an economy that's been in a recession for 3 years, when you've got jobs are difficult to find, people getting laid off or people getting cut hours at the very least, you're talking less money with the same amount of expenses, and people are they're gonna pay for housing, they're gonna pay for childcare, they're going to pay for medical expenses, and so I feel like food is often one of the things that gets cut. And I think that we sometimes don't recognize that there are a lot of people in America that are really struggling to feed themselves and to feed their families on a regular basis.
Those moments when you were able to connect families and individuals with the benefit, he thanked me and said, "Thank you for talking to me about this and talking me through what to expect at the interview process and getting all my paperwork to work." So I think it really reminded me why it is important to have these conversations and to, do outreach on the program and help people walk through the application. Because it's beyond the outreach. I think letting people know that the program exists doesn't actually mean that there's a lot of barriers through the application process. So taking that extra time and sitting down with folks and talking about their concerns or misconceptions, or helping them think about, okay, you're going to apply, this is what it means, this is what to expect, is critical. Taking that next step in customer service.
The thing I like most is that I get to engage awesome people in conversation that have a variety of backgrounds that come from all over the country, even all over the world. I've met people from Uganda, from Nigeria. I've even met people that I thought were family members. So I've even met people that have some of the most amazing stories. For example, this gentleman who felt that he had been abducted from Chicago. And so it was just awesome sitting there, because sometimes these people, all they need is someone to listen to them and hear their story. And that's what I enjoy most, is just engaging these wonderful people and talking to them about their story.
Well, I think the thing that's the best about this position is that it's a relational position. You're not locked in an office somewhere filing paperwork. You're talking with people the entire time. And so, life is social. humans are social beings, so it's great to be able to talk with people and to make human connections. So certainly the part I like most is the talking with people. People are often like very vulnerable with you when you're talking about filling out such an application with intimate information, and so I feel very grateful to be able to like have a little peek into people's lives and to have them invite me in.